We've built our reports on a flexible analytics framework of dimensions and values where we can change what we are measuring and how we are grouping those measurements. Sometimes the summarized views of your data can leave you scratching your head, for instance, when you tell yourself that abandon rate looks higher than I feel like it should be this month. Often questions lead to more questions before they lead to answers. And with historical trends or anomalies like this high percentage in abandon rate, we need to cross-examine other metrics and even dig deeper into the details and context surrounding our reports a bit more. For a high abandon rate, we can break out the call volume by hour and compare the change in abandon rate to the average queue time. Or we could also go a completely different direction and look at how many calls went to which agents and the percentage of calls they transferred or escalated. While bringing in context from other summarized data can help deliver the insights we need. Detailed data will help us understand the exact cause, whether reasonable or not, as well as inform us of what corrective measures can be used to improve our outcomes. Broadvoice makes it simple to drill through to the detail level, and even further into a cradle-to-grave visualization of an interaction's lifespan. This allows us to see everything that happened and why. Any place you see the plus symbols indicates an opportunity to drill through. For finer details, click on one of the groupings to drill into a detailed report with the individual interaction records listed out here. You'll get granular details about the interactions. For a call, you can see how long they spent on the phone or on hold when they called, with whom they spoke, etc. Notice the plus symbol again here. Click on a record and you get the cradle-to-grave report, which shows you every step a caller made during their engagement. From here you can see all the context for different legs of the interaction details, recordings, and team activity. Team activity applies specifically to queues and lets you see what every logged-in agent was doing while an interaction was in that queue. You might find a caller had to wait 5 minutes in queue because agents weren't answering presented calls, or because agents were in release or in wrap. Or perhaps the team was just busy, and it's time to consider additional coverage during an hour of the day like this. Since these reports hold much of your historical summarized data, they will run on the fly as you make adjustments to them. However, when running a detail-level report, any changes made to the fields will only present to you a generalized representation of how the report will look before you click the Run Report button to retrieve the available detail data from your server. The amount of data available will depend on your retention period. This is also what we see when drilling into the detail level from a summary report. We've also made it simple and flexible for you to export these reports in a variety of ways, so you can continue merging this data with other tables from other sources, import it into an FTP, or continue exploring offline. To export a summary or detail report, click on the More Options button on the right-hand side of the report's title bar, followed by the Export option from the drop-down menu. Title the export file, choose the following options, and click Export to export the cradle-to-grave data, which will include the details for each leg. Click on the Export to PDF button in the top right corner of the cradle-to-grave window.